now we are more connected and we can do and practice some yoga online. Alright, so let's begin. Find a comfortable seated. I'm gonna use the pillow. We're gonna start with a little bit of simple pranayama. So we can ground in. Let me just fix my cable. We can ground down. So in yoga we always breathe through the nose, no matter what practice you do. And pranayama, which means it's a personal choice, either the breath control or breath freedom. All pranayamas in yoga are done through the nose, unless if there are specific pranayamas that are done by using the mouth. So make sure that today you're breathing softly, without any pressure, and you're breathing through the nose. Close your eyes, find a comfortable seated, ground through your sitting bones, draw your shoulders back and out, lengthen to the crown of the head. Take a few breaths, let's do a cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Hold your breath a little bit. And exhale through your mouth. Just let it go. So you're removing everything what is holding you in your life. You're leaving everything behind the door. And this 1 hour or 90 minutes it's a personal time. So that you can spend for yourself, you can spend with your breath, and you can nourish yourself. So again, inhale, exhale, let it go. One more time, inhale, and let it go. And now start breathing through the nose, activating Ujjayi breathing, which is like an ocean breath. So inhale. Inhale. Bring both hands in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra. Smile within. Keep your face always soft, no matter how strong pose is. The moment when you keep your face soft and keep your heart soft, everything falls into right places. Your energy flows freely, your body is less stressed, your mind is free, and you are connected to yourself. This is what yoga is all about, the union of the body, mind, and the spirit. Let's chant one Om to open our practice. On exhale, bow to the heart, to the inner wisdom within. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you again for joining me today. We're going to start with some warm-up. So come on your knees and toes. We're going to start warming up the spine. So roll your shoulders backward, open your heart forward. Exhale, rolling in, really stretch the spine, pushing every vertebra away from the floor. Inhale, open up. Lengthen and stretch your heart forward. Exhale, rounding in. Try to really activate and open the lower back area as much as you can. Roll the shoulders, open up, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now let's imagine as if you're moving in the barrel. So you're within the barrel. And now really stretching every part of it. And let's do it to the other side. So go wild as much as you can, just move with the breath. You can go into the wildcat now, start moving maybe in circles. Try to find those tight areas in the body. Going forward to the hips. Going backward. And slowly coming into 12. It's very important in yoga to keep your joints, to keep your bones aligned. Bones are designed to bear our weight. So make sure that joints are always one on top of each other, especially in the wrists. They're very sensitive, so you really have to press through the four corners of your palm and make sure that your shoulders are not passing your wrist. So the wrist angle is no less than 90 degrees. It's perfectly geometrically correct 90 degrees. So from here, suck your belly in, keep your spine straight, lift your knees 2 centimeters off the ground, and just hold the breath. So keep the length in the spine. So from the coccyx to the crown of the head, create the length. And firmly ground through your feet. Press through the floor. Push the floor away. And create that length. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And from here, lift your hips, keep your knees still, softly bend. Bring your chest, your ribs closer toward your knees. Stretch your spine as much as you can, lifting for the seating bones. It's not important if your legs go straight, but if your back goes round, this is not correct, because we want to achieve the straight line in the spine first. The secondary of the legs will go straight. So that's okay for the beginning, to keep your knees straight, but really working on stretching the beautiful straight line in the back. So inhale again, slowly come, knees not touching the floor. Shoulders away from the ears, long line from the coccyx to the crown of the head. Exhale, sending the hips up and back. A few more times like this. Inhale. Exhale, hold it here. Inhale, in the pose. Hug the knees toward the midline. Exhale, push the hips all the way up and back. Last one. Inhale in here. Exhale, moving through the another pose. Inhale in the pose, hug the knees in. Exhale, and slowly move your hips back. Now bend one knee, bend another knee, as if you're riding a bicycle. I like to do here to move with my pelvis, so I really like to push the pelvis and maybe turn my both heels to the right side and push the floor away. So you feel a very, very good stretch on the left side of the body. Inhale, hips up, and now turn your pelvis, drop your heels to the left side, so you feel a very strong stretch below your shoulder blade, in your lower right ribs. Push the forward. It's important to understand that the scapula is continuation of your arm, so really feel the good stretch in the arm. And from here, slowly start walking to the front of the mat. Both feet hip distance wide and parallel to each other. Inhale again, you can soften the knees. This is a time when you can use the block or you can grab your ankles. So inhale, open up. Exhale, slowly try to bring the chest as close as possible. Head down. Inhale. Open up, exhale. Inhale. Bring your hands on top of your knees, roll your shoulders backward, open for the heart. So create that wide opening in the front of the chest. You can bring both hands, both fists on top of your sacrum. Stretch your heart forward, and from here work on stretching your legs. But open your heart forward, try to bring the elbows as close as possible. Lift your heart forward, and work on stretching your legs, ground through the heels. Inhale. Now, listen carefully. Exhale. Tuck your tailbone, rolling in. And like a piece of paper, start rolling towards your knees. So you can soften the knees, grab above your knees, push your legs down, and try to bring the crown of the head between your knees. So really roll in. Push the belly in, pushing the lower back as high as possible toward the ceiling. And again, inhale. Hands on top of the knees, roll your shoulders backwards. So find that strong curve. Wide open, shoulder blades toward the spine. Maybe supporting yourself. And now from here, work on stretching the legs. Inhale, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift through the heart. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. And exhale. Again, tuck your tailbone. You can really support yourself. Hug your legs in, rolling in. Push the legs down, rolling in. And try to bring the crown of the head or forehead toward the knees. Even if you're here, that's totally fine. See how far you can come. And here, just relax. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. So now we're going to interlace the hands just gently. Our body is still cold, not warm enough. You can bend both knees, bring your chest on top of your legs. Even if you're here, that's totally fine. You drop your head and work on bringing those arms as close as possible or parallel to the ground. You can still keep your knees soft. Try to bring the head between both legs. Just one more breath in here. Inhale, slowly rolling in. Unrolling, coming to standing Tadasana. Relax your shoulders, relax your head, tuck your tailbone, long lower back, and just close your eyes. Feel. One hand on the heart, one hand on the tongue. Ground for your heels. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, raise one for the sky. Exhale, down. Inhale, reach for the sky, interlace your fingers. Your pelvis is parallel to the ground, just going from the upper chest. Inhale in this pose. Exhale here. Inhale to the center. Lift shoulders toward the ears. Exhale to the other side. Half moon pose. Inhale in the pose. And exhale here. Inhale to the center. Exhale, bow forward, touch the ground. Let's do some Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. Look up halfway. Exhale, hands on the ground, step back to plank. Again, make sure all your joints on top of each other. Your palms are shoulder width apart, the mid finger is facing forward, shoulders away from the neck, and your tailbone is tucked. So it's not that sexy butt, it's this. So short tummy, belly button toward the spine, we're still holding it here, I know, and create the length from the heels to the crown of the head. So from here, shift your weight forward, maybe bend your elbows a little bit, maybe hold it here. And from here, drop your hips on the ground and you will be in Bhujangasana, which is Cobra position. So inhale, so we don't break the neck, we keep the neck long. Exhale, forehead down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time, inhale up, exhale down. From here, push up as if you're coming to the child pose. This will be your resting pose for the whole practice. Whenever you feel out of breath, and from here you can lift up, touch your tailbones, and lift for the downward facing dog. Just a few breaths here. Whatever adjustments your body needs, please do. Feel free to do so. Just a few breaths in here. One more breath in. On the next exhale, slowly walk to the front of the mat. Feet hip distance wide. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, bow forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the chest, engaging your legs, keeping your spine straight. Lift your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Let's do one more time. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, bow forward, touch the ground. Inhale, look up halfway, hands on the floor, step one leg back, step another leg back, come to plank. Just take a deep breath in, exhale, slowly, again, elbows toward the chest, slowly, halfway to chaturanga, drop your hips down, untuck your toes, press your toes to the ground, and lift for the heart. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale down. You can push as if you're pressing for the down, for the child pose, and then lift all the way up to downward facing dog. from here, we're going to slowly come to plank. Bring your both legs together. And now shift your weight on the left outer edge of the foot. So either you're staying here, if your wrist feels okay, you can come on the elbow. If you feel very unbalanced, you can always bring the knee down and come to half side plank called Vasisthasana. I'm going for the full version. So I'm going to really press the floor, trying to go into the rainbow shape. So a few breaths in here. Again, keep your face soft, focus on the breathing, press the floor away. We're not collapsing into the palm, we're pushing the floor away. Slowly palms down, come to downward facing dog. And from here, slowly again coming to plank. Let's do it on the other side. So, whatever variation feels okay for you, feel free to go so. One more breath. Exhale. Release again, downward facing dog. And from here, slowly stepping to the front of the mat, feet hip distance wide over halfway. Exhale, bow forward. And then bring your hands in front of your heart. Raise all the way up. Exhale, Tadasana Samasthiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Begin to interlace your fingers. Exhale, moving to the half moon pose, moving from the upper chest. One breath in and exhale. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale in here and exhale. Inhale to the center, exhale, bow all the way down. Shift your weight to the right leg and lift your left leg. Even if it's here, stay here, but try to close and square your hips. And try to go, grab the ankle, try to go as close as much as you can, but keep your hips square. You can bend the upper knee and push the heel, kick the heel all the way up to the ceiling. One breath. Inhale, changing sides. So left leg down, lift the right leg again. Work on squaring your hips. So instead of opening, then try to work on squaring, hugging your legs toward the midline. And from here, slowly step back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower slowly, either knees, chest and chin, or baby chaturanga. And from here to Bhujangasana, Cobra. We're going to be do dancing Cobra. So bring your fingers to the edges of the mat. Your legs together like a Cobra tail, very strong, pressing against the floor. Inhale, lift your upper chest, elbows in, and start rolling the shoulders from one side to another side. Stay with the breath and then change, you meet yourself. Inhale, lift up, exhale. One more time. Lift up, exhale. From here, press all the way up and back to downward facing dog. Both feet together, softly bend your knees and lift your hips as high as you can. From here, lift your right leg all the way up. This time you can open your hips and go as wide as you can. So the upper leg goes into flex, pressing through the heel, foot point, foot flex, foot point, foot flex, foot point. From here, move your hips and move your shoulders above your waist. Move your hips parallel to the ground and bring right knee toward your nose, toward your chest. So the hips are lower than your heart, hugging the knee in. So inhale in here. Exhale, kick your leg up and back through the downward facing dog. Inhale, in here. Exhale, knee toward your chest. Again, lower your hips, lower. Inhale in this position. Exhale, kick your leg up and back. And now with control, count 3. We're gonna step the right foot forward. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. And step the right foot inside the right palm. Make sure you both feet hip distance wide. You bring your chest inside the right inner thigh. Both hands on the right knee. So instead of going all the way to high lunge, let's first work on grounding our legs and activating our legs. So 45 degrees warrior. So square your hips, right thigh in, left thigh forward. Arms in line with your ears, palms facing up. So a few breaths in here. Inhale, exhale, 1. The back leg is fully charged. 2 and 3. Hands on the ground. Stretch the front leg. Lift the back heel again, square your hips. And as much as you can go on top of the front leg. Pyramid position. Inhale, look forward. Bring both hands inside the right leg. Bend the right knee. Keep the back leg as straight as possible. Roll your shoulders backward like a cobra chest. Press the back heel backward and open your heart up. Stay on your fingertips. Work on grounding for both big toes. Open the heart. Keep the back leg straight. Press the heel backward. Inhale. Exhale again. Stretch the front leg. Press both palms to the ground. Inhale. Kick your right leg up and back. Place the foot on the ground, both feet together. Come to plank. Slowly bend your elbows. Chaturanga, cobra, or the more advanced variation, upward facing dog. In upward facing dog, your knees are not touching the ground. And you're really working on pushing the heart forward by bringing your shoulder blades towards each other, pressing against the spine. And exhale, downward facing dog. And there's the other side, so lift your left leg as high as you can. Again, open the foot, so foot flex, foot point, foot flex, foot point, foot flex, foot point. From here, inhale, bring your body parallel to the ground to plank. Bring the knee toward your nose. Lower your hips below your heart level. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, kick your leg up and back. Inhale, in here. Exhale, bring the knee towards your chest, towards your nose. And then inhale in here. Exhale, push the leg back and up. Inhale, on count 3, we're going to step the foot inside the left palm. 3, 2, and 1. Silently. Again, both feet hip distance wide. Bring both hands in front of the knees, squaring your hips, keeping the back leg active. Ground for the both big toes. It's very important to really feel strength in your legs in here. So you're really fully engaging. And arms in line with your ears. 3. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 1. Hands on the floor, stretch the front leg. Open for the heart. Exhale, lower down. Again, work on squaring your hips, lifting the back heel higher. You can walk your hands maybe backward. Just stay a little bit deeper in here to feel the good stretch in the front leg. Keeping your face soft, staying present with your breath. Now walk your hands inside. Lower your hips. Roll your shoulders backwards. So keep the back leg active, pressing the back heel, but trying to bring the front thigh as close as possible toward the floor. And again, creating that cobra chest and opening your heart all the way up to the sky. So we're gonna stay here a little bit, but really work on grounding through both big toes, especially for the left big toe. And open for the heart even more. 3, 2. The back knee is very strong and high, pressing the heel against the back wall. And 1. Stretch the front leg again, pyramid position. This is a kind of preparation for the hamstring opening and for the full split in the future. So even if you're here staying on the fingers, maybe with the bent knee, it's also totally fine. You can also use the blocks in here. Both hands on the ground. Kick your left leg up and back, three-legged downward facing dog. Both legs together. Inhale, counter plank. You have an option from plank to go to downward facing dog, or if you feel like going through the vinyasa flow, you're more than welcome to do it. So know your variations and go easily through that. Take a deep breath in, and on your next exhale, we're gonna place and step our feet mat distance wide. You're gonna sit low into yoga squat. Even if your heels are a little bit high, you can place a block or you can put a blanket. But here, work on pressing with your elbows and knees apart. Roll your shoulders backward. The safety tip here, make sure that your toes and your kneecaps are facing in the same direction. We want to protect our knees, so there are no any twisting happening or any rotation happening within the knee joint. Draw the shoulders backward. So from here, what we can do, I like to really experiment with the breath and with the movements. We can grab the knees. You can really work on opening one side to another side, lifting through the heels. Now work with your elbows. Press the knees apart. Drop your shoulders backward. Can you lift through the heart even more? Very good. From here, hands on the ground. Lift your hips up. Shake your hips from one side to another side. Now, keep your legs wide open. Again, interlace your hands behind. Just for the change. So to redirect your attention, and we'll work on that shoulder openings a little bit. At the same time, allowing your hamstrings to stretch and backs of the legs to stretch a little bit more with these. So from here, you're going to sit a bit lower, and you're going to bring your hips, knees, and shoulders in one line. Either you stay here, you can bring the hands in here, or grab and place your fingers on top of your feet. So we're going to stay in here, 3, 2, stay with the breath, 1. Now we're going to make it more interesting. You're going to lift your heels off the ground. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Make sure the hips, knees, and chest in one line. Down. Exhale again. Release. Lift your hips. Stretch. Very good. And step back to plank. And downward facing dog. From here, come on your knees. We're going to come into the melting heart. So keep the toes stuck. You walk your palms forward until your chest bone comes down. So make sure you need to work forward and the chest is touching the floor. Keep your arms straight. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can come on the fingertips and lift your elbows off the ground. So this will allow you to go deeper into the chest and shoulder opener. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. And from here, slowly, slowly, come back to the child position. Slowly come to seated. Both knees together. Ground for your sitting bones. Place one hand behind, another hand on the left palm outside of the right knee. Drop your shoulders and then make sure that your belly button is facing forward, but you're twisting and turning from the upper chest. Just a few breaths in here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Come to the center. We're going to be changing the sides. So again, belly button facing forward to the front of the mat. You're just turning and twisting from the upper chest. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Beautiful. And from here, move back to downward facing dog. Let's work a little bit on some arm balances. So you're gonna start building the stamina and some confidence and strength. So bring your shoulders above your wrist. So variation 1, if you're afraid to go upside down and go, so you're just lifting one leg and you're staying in three-legged dog. Variation 2, you can stay in here and work maybe just to jumping and hopping. Hopping with one leg 5 times. And then I'm afraid that the mic's gonna fall. Yeah. And then the same you can do with another side as well. Sometimes this happens and it's fun. And again, slowly come to child pose. From here, slowly come to seated on your heels. So variation 1, everyone lift up and try to open a particular area in front of your thighs. So grounding through your toes, grounding through your knees. Push your buttocks down and lift through the heart. So you can stay in here and work on stretching the whole front line. So let's all do this part. So really again, elbows together, lifting and maybe creating even more of that front back bend. And again, come to seated. Variation 2, you grab the heels and from here you come to that Ustrasana camel pose, or if you have lower back issues, you continue doing the previous pose that we just did. So pressing through the heels, slowly coming forward, push the hips, press the heels down, and only then you can drop the head. You can lift one arm and one, and then changing the sides. And slowly down to sit. From here, lift your hips. Step to the front of the mat. Grab your elbows and just hang out a little bit in here. And slowly walk. Bring both feet together. Now we're going to do some balancing with our legs. So softening your knees, shifting your weight on the left foot, bring your right knee toward your chest. Take a deep breath in. From here, stretch the front leg. Lift your arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart, keeping your hips square, kicking your leg backward, in line with your heart, into warrior three. From here, bending the standing leg, and softly shifting and landing into the high lunge. Again, work on squaring your hips, so right thigh forward, left thigh backward, looking for the heart. So what you can do, grab your lower ribs and try to lift. Keep the back knee as active as you can. Inhale and exhale. So inhale, lift up, exhale, cactus arms. Inhale up, exhale, cactus arms. One more time, inhale up, exhale, cactus arms. Again, hands in front of your heart. Slowly bend the back knee. Find the strength in the standing leg. Shift your weight back to warrior three. Bring the knee toward the chest. And yes. Close your eyes and just move your hips. And let's do the other side. Bring the left knee toward the chest. Stretch your left leg forward, foot point, arms all the way up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, knee, arms to the heart, kicking and balancing on the leg, coming to warrior three pose. So again, keeping your hips square, softening the standing leg, and silently balancing into the lunge pose. Important that your both feet hip distance wide. You can bend the back knee, sit as low as you can. Inhale, raise your arms and work on stretching the back leg. But sitting as low as you can in the front leg. Again, ground, so lift through the chest so you can really create more space in your chest, in the deep, deep, beautiful chest opening. So inhale, stretch legs, exhale, sit lower, cactus arms. Inhale, up, exhale, keep the back leg, sit as low as you can. Inhale, up, exhale, sit lower. Again, hovering in, bring the palms in front of your heart. Slowly shifting your weight to the right leg and lift your left leg up. And create that opening and space in the left kidney area. And the left knee toward your chest. Hug it in, exhale, release. Both feet together. From here we're going to go into another arm balance, which is called Bakasana, the crow pose. So variation one, you bend your knees and you bring your knees on top of your triceps. And you stay in here, pushing the same as we did with the yoga squat, pressing the shoulders into the knees and knees into the shoulders. Just hang up in here for 5 breaths. Then you can lift maybe one leg and stay a few breaths in here. And then you're going to change. On your end, this more important is that your palms are plank palms, like your arms are plank arms, the parallel and strong. And then with the time you will lift one leg, you will lift another leg, and you will work on stretching both arms. Staying in here, just 3 breaths. 3, 2, 1. Feet on the ground, sit lower, bring your knees, bend your knees a little bit. So we're going to go into Navasana. From here, stretch your legs, feet flex, feet point, feet flex, feet point, smile, feet flex, feet point, feet flex, feet point. Now you're going to open, grab your feet, grab your ankles, lift for the heart. Rock and roll from one side to another side. Now I'm going to make it even more interesting. So you're going to place your fingertips in front of you and you're going to lift your legs aside. So touch the big toes, open but lift for the heart, legs straight. Touch the big toes, don't touch the floor, And so let's do it. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, left with the heart, and 7, do as much as you can, and 8. Again, bring the feet, bring the ankles, left for the heart, beautiful. And from here, keep your left leg in front, step your right foot backward. Untuck your both toes, both hands on the left knee, and just allow your hips to sink. So we're really going into front thigh, deep stretch. You can place both hands on the hips to feel go deeper, or you just hang out in here a little bit, allowing your hips to open up. What I really like to work in here is engaging the connective energy by pressing my right big toe, actually both big toes, to the ground and trying to hug my legs toward the midline. And that allows you to really start going deeper and deeper and feeling that there is something magical is happening within you and opening. So creating all that space of the openness. From here, hands on the ground. Stretch the front leg, again square your hips, sitting bone backwards, stretch your heart forward. Either you're staying in here, that will be perfectly fine. If you feel it, you can go a little bit deeper if your legs and hamstrings are allowing, and you can go a little bit deeper. That's also totally okay. Very good. Bend the front knee. From here, we're going to go a little bit more deeper into the thigh and front thigh stretch. So you're going to bend the knee, grab the ankle from the back. You're going to turn your shoulders backward, and you're going to kick the back leg away from the shoulder. So your chest will want to open toward the right side, but on the contrary, trying to bring the heart toward the left knee, and you continue kicking the leg backward. So variation 1, you can stay in here. Variation 2, you can bring, if you can grab, or maybe grab it with the strap, you can go into the bound pose. And again, your whole strength in your legs, pressing through, rounding through the left big toe. And from here, exhale. Again, coming into the half split. Come to the child pose or downward facing dog, whichever feels okay for you. Again, slowly come on your knees. This time step your right foot forward. And again, untuck your back toes. And allow your hips to sink. Stay with the breath. Relax your shoulders, keep your neck long. And from here, slowly relaxing, moving into the half split. So important is to keep your hips square. You can always keep the knees soft. Most important that you feel a very good stretch at the back of the leg, and see if your chest can go on top of the leg, or just you staying here. My body allows me to go a little bit more deeper to feel that nice and juicy stretch. Very good. Bend the front knee. We're going to go a little bit deeper. So you're going to bend the back knee, grab your ankle from outside, or maybe use a strap or a blanket or a towel to grab it. And again, instead of opening your heart to the left side, try to bring your heart forward and kick your leg backward. So your heel wants to go away from the heart in two opposite directions. So either you stay in here, or you can go and grab with both palms and kick and really go backward. Again, make sure that you're firmly grounding for your right big toe. And exhale, release. Inhale, split. And now option either the child pose or downward facing dog. From here, we're going to come into 8-limb asana, or called Ashtanga asana. So you come on your knees, you bring your heart, and I think I need to move my mic a little bit. Yeah. So you bring your heart, your chest, and your chin on the ground. So variation 1, roll your shoulders backward, lift both knees off the ground. You're staying in here. Variation 2, knee on the ground, lift one leg up as high as possible, but work on squaring your hips. Advanced variation, stretching the back leg. And let's do on the other side. Release. Coming into the rabbit pose. So you're going to bring your face, your cheeks between your knees, crown of the head to the ground. You're going to grab your heels and lift your hips, sucking the belly in. So trying to keep your neck long and really lift and push the lower back toward the ceiling. Slowly release it. Come to child pose. And from here, let's experience a little bit of the back bend and then come into the cooling session. So first we're going to do the simple bridge pose. So hands, palms in line with your heels. So you're going to lift your hips up. Just stay in here. And slowly lower down. With the next variation, we will lift the hips and we will interlace our fingers together. So inhale, lift the hips up, interlace your fingers, ground for the heels, push the heels, hug your knees toward the midline, and lift for the hips higher. And release. Hands to the third eye, just relax a little bit. Flattening your spine. So next variation, I will show you the preparation for the wheel, for the full wheel. If you feel like you can go, you can really follow and go into that wheel with me together. If not, you can just do the poses, 2 poses that we just done, and stay there for at least 5 breaths minimum. So preparation for the wheel is important that your feet are hip distance wide, they're parallel, and you're grounding from your heels. Your arms come in line with your shoulders. So the shoulders need some space. Your palms are not next to your ears, and your shoulders will be limited. So shoulder width apart. First you lift your hips. You come on the crown of the head. You see your feet are not moving, they're not fidgeting. So you really, this is the preparation. So you're pressing through the crown of the head, but you're not collapsing in the neck. You're pushing the floor away and you're engaging your legs, trying to stretch your heart forward. This is an amazing preparation because that is teaching and balancing and strengthening all required muscles for the whole wheel. So let's stick here a little bit and then we'll go into the full version. So press the floor weight. Can you really make the crown of the head very light? And release. I bet you if you hold this pose for 5 to 10 breaths and keeping the forehead barely touching the floor, you will feel how much power you require in your legs. Not in the arms, but in the legs. The whole potential, the whole strength is within our legs. But when we go into inversions, especially when we go into the back bends, because we're so scared to go upside down, we forget about using our power, we forget about our power center, we forget about using our legs. So you can do whatever, which version feels alright. So maybe staying in the preparation for the wheel, or if it's okay and you want to go for the whole version, you're free to do so together with me. But again, be careful. If you feel any pinching pain in your lower back, that means you're not ready yet. Any pain in the wrist, we still have time to prepare. But ideally you will feel a very amazing opening in the front chest, in the heart area. And beautiful stretch in the whole front abdominal muscles. So again, hands, place your palms shoulder width apart. Lift your hips up. Come on the crown of the head. Press through the feet and lift your arms. So even if you're here from here, we're working on pushing the heart and working on stretching both legs up. You can lift the heels, it will be much easier, more comfortable. 3, 2, and 1. And slowly lay down. Bring both knees towards your chest. Grab your knees in front. Push the knees. And really maybe try to place the toes toward the floor so you feel really good stretch in the back. From here, we're going into Halasana, the cloak pose. So ideally, my favorite variation is with arms next to your ears because that is protecting your neck and that is requiring lots of power to use momentum. Lift your hips and go straight forward. If you cannot touch with your feet, if you cannot touch the floor, place it inside your palms, you can hold your feet parallel to the ground, maybe even your knees bend. You can even do it next to the wall. But make sure that your arms are straight, you're not turning your neck anywhere, and you're staying here. I'm going to place my palms, my feet inside my palms, and I'm going to work on stretching, pushing the heels toward the floor. Slowly, slowly, like vertebrae at a time, placing everything down on the ground. And from here, we slowly come to seated pose. I'm turning next to you so you can see what we're going to do. The following forward fold, seated forward folds. So first, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Walk with your sitting bones, maybe slightly bend your knees. Walk with your hands forward, wrap your big toes in a yogi clock. Stretch for the heart, stretch your legs. And from here, maybe bend your elbows, just stay in here a little bit, drop your head down. If you can go all the way down by placing your face toward the knees, that's fine, that's very good. If you are still here, you're staying here. But instead of using your lower back and hanging from the lower back, I want you and invite you to really work from inside, engaging that core a little bit so you can really feel the stretch in your back legs, but not in the lower back. Because that pose will particularly work on stretching the back myofascial lines of your legs. Inhale, look up halfway. Now bring your right knee in and open it inside. 90 degrees. If your knee is not on the ground, you can support it with the block or with the pillow or with anything. Even the bottle of water will do wonderful, will help you so wonderfully. Again, inhale, open for the heart. Exhale, either you're staying here, if you already feel a lot of stretching and a lot of happening in your, let's say, waistline or in your hip, you stay in here. Otherwise, you can go all the way down into Jana Shirshasana. Inhale, look up halfway. Now place your right elbow either on the left knee or inside the left knee, maybe with the palm under your heel, under your ankle. Lift your right arm all the way up and stretching for the line. For those who can and feel that they can go forward, they can bring the shoulder inside the knee, grab, and maybe turning and trying to open the heart toward the sky. But the most important is to be firmly grounded for your right sitting bone. And slowly release. Now place your right knee on top of your, right heel on top of your left knee. Bend your left knee. So we're going a little bit deeper into the hips. And try to left stretch for the heart. Lift even more, try to bring your heart toward that front shin. If you feel okay, you can grab it and hug it in here and drop your head down. Just a few more breaths. Very nice. Now, if you can place the elbow inside that right foot, that's okay. This is where we're going. If you cannot, you hold the foot and you really push against it and try to open the heart toward the left side. If you can place the elbow and you want to go a little bit deeper, so you can maybe grab that left foot and stay in here. But working from twisting and turning through the chest. Again, working on opening of the upper chest, thoracic spine. Nice and beautiful. Again, bring all feet together. Ground for the sitting bones. Grab your toes and go all the way forward. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Look up halfway. And let's do the same sequence on the left side. So close your left knee as close as possible. Bring it and open it like a book. I see that lots of people are pressing the foot inside the thigh. You see what happens, your knee automatically will lift because the hip joint is not open, is not ready. This pose is actually preparation because it also prepares your ankle for the lotus one. So really try to make sure that you open your foot like a book. And from here, either you're staying in this variation, so that's already, for some people, already more than enough. If the knee is up and going forward, they already feel a lot happening in the thigh, in the hip joint. If your knee is on the ground, you still can feel a lot of happening. And again, it's personal and individual journey, so whatever feels right for you and that you can enjoy and stay for a few breaths, I welcome you to do so. Again, breathing through the nose, keeping inside soft, flattening, and making sure that the left sitting bone is firmly grounded together with the knee. Inhale, slowly lift up. And now either placing the right elbow on top of the right knee or inside, maybe placing it under the heel. And again, ground for the left sitting bone. Lift your arm up and then in line with your ear. Can you firmly ground for the left sitting bone, left knee, and then from there grow and open your heart up to the sky. Believe me, even here it looks very simple, but when you're working from inside, it feels a lot, and there is a lot of happening inside of each of you. If you want to go even more deeper, bringing shoulder inside the knee, grabbing the foot, and really going on opening the side. Try to keep your breath steady as long as possible, because with the twist, we are trying to engage the lungs. We're trying to really work on opening and pressing and compressing from within, creating that pressure. And slowly release. Now bring the left heel on top of your right knee and bend the right knee. So bringing your chest a little bit closer. Don't be surprised, because two sides will be feeling completely different. One side will be more open than another one. In my body, definitely. The both sides feels very different. Like two foreigners or two aliens and two neighbors living under the same roof. All have different personalities, priorities, and preferences. And every and each side needs different attention and different workout. So my personal journey is to bring them into balance and harmonize them together. And I guess everyone's journey is similar to mine, more or less. From here we're going to go into the twist. So again, I did variation 1 beginners. So press the foot in, you work from here twisting. If you can place the elbow, this will be variation 1. More advanced variation when you can bring the foot as close as possible into your armpit and grab the opposite foot. And again, lifting through the heart, trying to open even more. Staying with the breath. Very good. And release. From here, we're going to go into Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. So usually it's 90 degrees. I would recommend today, try something different, but work again on your foundation. So you make sure that your heels, your sitting bones, your knees, toes and thighs are facing up. Your sitting bones are really firmly grounded and evenly pressing to the floor. So variation 1, you grab your ankles and you work on really stretching that spine, so making that beautiful straight spine, like a cobra chest. So you're hugging your legs in, bend your knees and really working on. Variation 2, if you can grab your feet, you can keep your knees soft and stretch your heart forward. So you, instead of bringing the head down, work on bringing your belly button as close as possible. That's why bending the knees in the beginning is very useful, because that is creating a lot of space in the hip joint, because here the pelvis needs to move around your hip, around the head of the femur bone, and only then when your belly button is down on the ground and your chest is firmly on the ground, you will be able to stretch your legs and go all the way down. And whatever you are, let's work with the legs. So feet point, feet flex. Even if your knees are bent, work with the feet. So by working with our ankles and feet, we are capable of reaching into the hip joint, into the pelvic floor, into the pelvis. Very good. Inhale, release. Now bring both knees together. the final pose, Elaine twist. Let me just grab my hoodie to feel warm. So if you need anything to cover yourself, keep yourself warm, this is the time when you do before you go on the ground. So you can put something below you or on top of your mat so you'll feel warm and comfortable. So lay down on the floor, grab your hips, stretch your pelvis away, or stretch your like push the shoulders away from your hips. Bring both knees toward your chest and drop your knees to one side. Make sure the shoulders are on the ground. Slowly release. Again, both knees to the center, and from here we're going to work to the other side. Bring your legs to the center. This is the time for the final relaxation, for the final Shavasana. So relax everything down to the ground. We're going to stay here for a few minutes. Whatever you need to put under or above you, feel free to do so. This is the time when you create silence within and you listen to that silence. You enjoy that emptiness. continue breath in. This is the time when you bring your attention to your breath, to the body. So within the body, move and stretch your fingers, your toes. To energize the body, take a deep breath. And stretch as if you're waking up in the morning. And both knees off to one side. Slowly come to comfortable seated. We'll continue short pranayama, which means some breath exercise, and then we will do some meditation. So find a comfortable seated. You can sit on a block or you can sit on a pillow. This time you're going to interlace your fingers, kind of like a pistol, so you can see, and you're going to bring it down. Lengthen through the spine. Drop your shoulders back and down. The most important is to keep your spine straight so the energy flows freely through your central channel. Free cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Hold your breath. If you know bandhas, this is time when you can apply bandhas. Release your bandhas and exhale through the nose. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. Release. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. And if you know how to engage bandhas, use it. Release. Exhale through the nose. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 2 times. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale through the nose. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale. Hold the breath. And exhale through the nose. Raise your shoulders. Neck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Free cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale as slow and soft as possible. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. This time we're going to do this snake breath. So inhaling through the nose, exhale with the sound. Keep your exhale as long as possible by pushing all the breath out, not vigorously, but softly and gently. Inhale. face, soften inside, inhale. Last one, inhale. Take a deep breath in. Bring both hands in front of your heart. Set an intention. Bring both palms on top of your knees. I'm going to do a short meditation in here. If you feel like you want to stop and later continue, you are free to do so. You can stop the video anytime and just stay with the meditation. In meditation, stay present, be observant, just observe the breath. Feel the 5 senses that will help you to stay mindful and aware of the present moment. Try not to move this way. It's important to keep your sitting posture comfortable and your spine straight. Bring both hands in front of your heart to the prayer position. Thank you so much for joining me today, for practicing with me. It means a lot. I hope you enjoyed the class. I wish you all the blessings. May your light shine through you. Keep your practice regular and keep sharing your love, your passion, and the light of your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful day, whatever time zone you are.